जो बरसों से हमारे झारखंड जैसे इलाके में सुदूर ग्रामीण क्षेत्रों में जंगलों में भटक भटक कर यहाँ के आदिवासियों को, यहाँ के दलितों को, यहाँ के अल्पसंख्यकों को मार्गदर्शन करा रहे स्टैन स्वामी को गिरफ्तार किया गया। ये अत्यंत ही दुखद बात है।
Ladies and gentlemen, today I just want to make 3 points for our consideration. One, how come Father Stan be an anti-national overnight? Ever since Father Stan joined the Society of Jesus in Jamshedpur province in 1957, he has been in Jharkhand for the last 63 years, of course in and out for some time or the other for his studies and other activities. If you minus the time of his training and studies, Stan has worked for the cause of the tribals, Dalits, and other marginalized sections of society in Jharkhand, at least for the last 50 years. My question to NIA and the powers that be is, how is it that during the last 60 years or so, nobody ever raised his or her finger on his integrity and nationalism, but just 2 years ago, it was suddenly discovered that he was an anti-national by virtue of his links with the Maoists and Bhima Koregaon. The second point I would like to make is, Stan has been arrested because he is the symbol of assertion of tribal, Dalit, and human rights, and of their identity, dignity, and self-esteem. Stan is not a tribal by birth, but is more than a tribal by choice. He has identified himself completely with the tribals, with their brokenness, with their struggles for survival, with their hopes and aspirations. He has been the voice of the voiceless. Stan has written extensively on issues such as displacement, land alienation, so on and so forth. I have a list of more than 70 of his papers and books that he has written for tribal assertion and in view of land alienation, so on and so forth. He's a man for all beyond ethnic, caste, and religious boundaries. His well-researched and contentious book titled Deprived Rights Over Natural Resources, Impoverished Adivasis Get Prison, a study of under trials in Jharkhand, takes the tribal development discourse from the closet of the economic growth agenda to human development. I've got a copy of his book. But it is a case study of 102 under trials. Although an in-depth study of the human rights violations of the Adivasis, this book is a critique of the development discourse of the country that ignores the rights of the Adivasis and Mulvasis to live with dignity and self-esteem, which is their fundamental right. And in his findings, about 97% of the sample under trials were arrested under false allegations of hobnobbing with the Naxals. Their apprehension and harassment were based on misinformation and misuse of power. Such anti-tribal and anti-Adivasi draconian law as UAPA seems to have been misused in the context of the sample under trials. The third point I would like to make is, and I would like to sum up what has happened to Stan Swami in terms of 3 moments, namely structural problem, processes, and the possibilities. Every structural problem has a structural solution. This was Father Stan's conviction too. The arrest of Stan and Bhima Koregaon's saga are pointers to 3 kinds of war, namely caste war, class war, and ideology war. It is clear from the lifestyle of Stan Swami that he always stood with the underdogs of the society. He wanted to transform inequitable structures prevalent in society, and his arrest is a discourse on tribal development. He was against the model of lopsided development, and he always promoted holistic development. Stan always stood for inclusiveness and diversity.
As one who has benefited myself from a Jesuit education, I am convinced that no Jesuit priest would ever be guilty of either violence or incitement to violence. The charges of these seem to me to be preposterous. Here is a good man who has worked and lived with the Adivasis of the Kolhan region, who has learned to help them, actually studied in order to work more effectively for social change, worked at the Indian Social Institute in Bangalore, and at the same time spent a quarter of a century in Jharkhand, only devoting himself to Adivasi rights. Such a person deserves our respect, deserves our support, deserves all the encouragement we can get, because those of us who have a conscience would want to see him succeed in his noble and often thankless task.
स्टैन स्वामी हमारा पुराना मित्र है और बहुत अच्छे मित्र है। उनके साथ कई मुद्दे पर काम करते रहे हैं, चाहे राइट टू फूड, राइट टू वर्क पर, जल जमीन, एनआरसी और सीए के खिलाफ। और स्टैन स्वामी रांची के बहुत लोकप्रिय नागरिक है, बहुत मीठा आदमी है, बहुत ईमानदार है और इन सारे इश्यूज पर उन्होंने बहुत सालों तक बहुत ईमानदारी से और बहुत हिम्मत के साथ काम किया है। और स्टैन स्वामी ऐसे एक व्यक्ति था और है भी जो इन अंडर ट्रायल्स का अधिकार के लिए बहुत काम किए हैं और खास करके झारखंड में इस पर रिसर्च भी किए हैं और कोर्ट केस भी किए हैं उनको रिलीज करने के लिए। और दुख की बात है कि अब स्टैन स्वामी उसी तरह खुद अंडर ट्रायल बना है और उसका ट्रीटमेंट भी बहुत खराब है, जबकि 83 साल के व्यक्ति है, उनका स्वास्थ्य ठीक नहीं है और जिस तरह उनको कोविड के समय जेल में डाल दिया जा रहा है और उसका ट्रीटमेंट इतना बुरा है, तो इस तरह ये एक तरह का डेथ सेंटेंस लग रहा है।
It raises certain questions. Why are you afraid of an 83-year-old man? Is it because he fought for the rights of the tribals, the Dalits and the poor? Is it because he opposed the vested interests when they tried to deprive the poor of their rights? Why were you afraid to come and arrest him during the daytime